Thank you all so much for coming. We're here today to celebrate together the beauty, the resilience, the perseverance, and the culture of trans people. St. John's is a federally qualified health center. And federally qualified health centers started back in the 1960s as a way to serve the uninsured and the underserved. The first community health center was in the Delta area of Mississippi. And the doctor who was working there was writing prescriptions for his patients for food because they were malnourished. The federal government came in and arrested him, and the community health center movement was born. And so it then became codified through the war on poverty under President Johnson, and now it's the largest healthcare system in the world, providing primary care to 80 million Americans. St. John started in 1964 in response to the Watts riots. And St. John's is the largest healthcare provider in South LA, which is the largest area of contiguous poverty in the United States of America. We believe that healthcare is a fundamental human right, and we now serve over 270,000 patient visits at 15 sites and 2 mobiles that go into the riverbeds and the homeless shelters to serve the homeless as well. Now, South LA has a very large transgender population, so we've always served transgender folks. But about 3 years ago, Karina Samala, my dear sister, we go back many, many, many years, approached us about beginning to provide trans-specific care to our transgender patients and the broader transgender community. Now, the Transgender Law Project in San Francisco had a grant to provide federally qualified health centers with training to provide transgender health care. There are 300 community health centers, federally qualified health centers, in California, and not one agreed to provide transgender health care except St. John's Well Child and Family Center. So we joined hands with the trans community. We hired trans staff to lead the program. And we built it to 1,200 patients and growing. And we serve all trans men and women regardless of insurance status, immigration status, or financial status. Now, you learn a lot from providing care on the ground to communities. And when you build something from the bottom up, there's a particular intimacy that gets developed. And we saw firsthand and we heard firsthand the trans community stories. The denial of health services from insurance companies, even though Obamacare mandated that transgender health services is a covered service, health insurance companies continue to deny care to the trans patients at St. John's Well Child and Family Centers. The trans community, as you know, faces violence, discrimination, brutality, police harassment, denial of economic opportunity and housing, and murder. In the last year, at least 3 transgender women of color every month have been murdered in this country. Now, I came up in New York City. I grew up poor. I grew up in the projects. My family were immigrants from Italy. And when I came out, my family disowned me for a time. And I had to find a place to stay. And there was a transgender activist in New York. Her name was Marsha P. Johnson. Marcia took me in. Marcia taught me how to be gay. And Marcia was my friend. Marcia was murdered in New York City. We need to join hands. Just like St. John's joined hands with the transgender community, will you join hands with us as well to change these dynamics that I'm describing? So please join hands with us. Help us guarantee that every trans person, regardless of immigration or insurance status, will have trans-sensitive health care services. And will you join hands with us and stand up against police harassment of our transgender brothers and sisters? Will you join hands with us and work with us to guarantee the right of employment, meaningful pay for meaningful work for our transgender sisters and brothers? So I say to our cisgender sisters and brothers, stand with us, join hands with us. Become advocates and allies for the transgender community. Learn what it means to be beautiful. Learn what it means to celebrate diversity. Join hands with us. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you.